ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, February 4th here at the Cam Henderson Center. Paul Swann, your host for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We are getting set for basketball action. The Thundering Herd taking on Southern Miss. We'll have that game for you starting at 6 o'clock with our pregame coverage. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. It is also National Signing Day, and so we're going to break down all the new additions to the Thundering Herd. Alex Jones is going to join us here in the next few minutes. He's actually up here near the broadcast position now. Come on, Alex. You can join us now. There's no sense to wait until 5:15. Let me get his microphone turned on, of course. It's been a busy day for him, as today is Christmas for football coaches and administrators across the country. Alex, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Get you all set up here, ready to go. Didn't want to make you wait for another 10 minutes.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, because that means we can talk more because you've had a busy day. Obviously, not just a busy day, but since you came back to Marshall, you took over the role of general manager. Feel like it was hit the ground running, let's go?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much once I accepted the job, it was how soon can you get here and when can you start. So for me, it was just trying to get all my ducks in a line and get here as soon as possible and try to make us as prepared as we could possibly be heading into the transfer portal window.
I'm kind of curious what that looked like. What was the first order of business when you got here, trying to get those ducks in a row? What was the first thing you had to do immediately to get yourself in the right spot?
Yeah, so essentially it was A, figure out how to get all my stuff taken care of, and B, figure out where I was living, where I was staying. Luckily, Gunter Brewer, who's our tight ends coach, was with me at Virginia Tech, and we spent some time together there. So I've been crashing with him, and he's been probably one of the better, if not the best roommates I've had in my time on this earth. So it's been good being back here. Obviously, I spent some time here as well. So my parents are 40 minutes up the street, and Huntington's very familiar to me. So when it comes to a recruiting perspective, trying to figure out where we were at, what were the needs we were needing to address, what worked in the past and what didn't, and what were the areas we needed to improve at. So sitting down with Coach Gibson, sitting down with the staff members and kind of getting a lay of the land and a feel for what positions of need we needed to be on the lookout for, and how much pre-prep could we do before the window really opened up and kind of the floodgates of college football kind of started rolling for all programs. So
was that more a reactionary, we need this, we're going to lose this, or is that more a deliberate plan and we're just going to go out and get the guys that fit what we need no matter who's coming back?
College football is in an interesting place right now. Normally, and in the past, you're kind of reacting to a guy entering the portal based on social media or something along those lines, or really their name going into the portal. And now there's so much pre-announcement in college football. You got guys from months out before the window even opens saying they're going in. So I think us putting a board together at all position groups, whether we were looking for needs or not, because you didn't know who on our end was going to go in. So you got to be prepared for every situation, every possibility, and make sure you have a deep enough board and a deep enough list to where if there is a surprise, there's no panic. You're just really trying to be like, all right, well, who do we know about? Who has relationships with who? We like this guy. Let's offer him. Let's get him set for a visit. Let's get to recruiting him as soon as we possibly can. So I think a lot of that, and obviously there were some changes on staff. Brad Lambert and Chip West come in. Those were guys that were here with me at Marshall when I was here the first time. So luckily for that side of the ball, I already had some familiarity with what Coach Lambert liked. So it just took us sitting down and talking and kind of getting the groundwork laid for what we wanted to do on that side of the ball.
How much re-recruiting the guys you already had went into the game plan?
So, I mean, they did a great job retaining the roster before I had even gotten here. For the most part, I think all guys were signed back on to compete for this upcoming season. Obviously, there were some changes. There were some guys that did decide to enter anyway. And, I think what you're trying to do is you want a roster full of guys that everybody else wants, because that's how you know you have a good football team. So there's always going to be these conversations and these retention meetings and these sit-downs of, why is Marshall the best place for you? why being a part of this roster and working with these coaches works out for you. And for the most part, I thought we did an excellent job keeping a lot of our mainstay names home and keeping a lot of the guys that, they're getting thrown all these numbers at, and maybe they're real, maybe they aren't, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of guys on this roster that believe in the vision, believe in the program, believe in Coach Gibson, believe in the coaching staff and us, and they were very eager to get the ball rolling. And now that it's closed and we're getting ready to enter spring ball here, following this dead period and everything, so now you're at a point where you know what your roster is and you know the guys you have, and you're trying to figure out what your best 11 on each side of the ball are. And you don't have to worry about these late game changes or kind of worrying about everything else where you don't know who's going to be where, who's happy, who's not, and all those other things where it's all football now. So I think that's a good change with this one portal window. We'll see. It seems like a lot of trial and error that everybody's trying all these different windows, these different formats, these different layouts. So we'll see if this one's the best one or not.
It makes spring all of a sudden more exciting, at least for me, because now the guys you go into spring with are pretty much the guys you're going to come out of spring with heading into fall.
Right, and I think you look at last year, people were scared to have spring games. Guys were scared to have spring games because one kid makes a highlight play on a live stream or a broadcast, and you're worried about another school coming in because maybe they didn't know about them before. There's a lot of excitement knowing you can really lock in and focus on the main thing and let the main thing be the main thing. I think that was lost a lot last year in college football with those multiple windows open, and I think this change is a good one.
Alex Jones is with us, General Manager, Marshall Football. So, nice mix. You got 28 portal kids.
Yep.
You have 15 high schoolers. And I had someone ask me the other day, is National Signing Day still exciting with the transfer portal? How would you respond to that?
I think the first window is – I think the two windows are interesting now because really a portal kid can sign whatever they want. They don't adhere to this bylaw of a big signing day. I think a lot of people kind of lock in their high school recruits in that first December window. And then you're kind of maybe feeling a couple more gaps or taking a couple more kids in this February one. But, I think you used to have these big National Signing Day broadcasts and all the rankings and all the other things. And I do think the portal's kind of taken away from that. I think the portal's taken away from high school recruiting in general. I think you see it in a lot of places. But, I don't think that's going to keep us from building the program the right way. Obviously, it was a little different last year where they had to basically recruit and bring in a whole new football team. And this year you're taking a fourth of what they had to take last year. 25 to 28, like you said, feels like nothing compared to the window they had last time. So I think it is an ever-growing and ever-changing landscape in college football. But once we finally solidify something, and it's probably not different rules and different times and different windows every year, then you're able to build that excitement back up because you have your known dates of what matters when, rather than the rolling portal window of signing or the set dates for high school.
We mentioned 15 high schoolers. Was that more of a deliberate number? We're going to try to have this kind of mix, or was that more need-want?
I wasn't here for that period of them recruiting these guys. I've gotten to know them since I got here. But I think when you had the amount of players they had coming back, you're not able to take that big high school class. So by that point, if everybody was retained, you kind of hit because you're really only having to fill 8 to 10 portal guys. But then when you have these guys leave late and they change their mind, well, then it's like, well, all the high school kids have signed elsewhere already. So that's how we get to this number of these 28 portal guys, because you have no other option but to replace them with portal guys at the time. So, I think going into this year, you can probably see a more normal number around that 20 range for us to recruit high school kids. But, I think going into it and what they had originally, it made sense to only sign that number given what the roster had coming back.
Now, we got a lot of names, and I know it's hard to say this guy excites me the most, these are my favorite guys, but I'm going to challenge you anyway to kind of dance around that. Anyone on this class or in this class that you look at and you go, wow, we got him, or I'm surprised we were able to talk to him and he signed and said yes?
I think for me, one of the ones that felt as personal was Chris Culliver. I recruited or helped recruit Chris at Virginia Tech when I was there, so we had a previous relationship from that standpoint. And I think you look at Chris and, like, he had some offers. He had Missouri. He had some other P4s that were interested in him. And it wasn't like he just rode the bench for UNC. Like, he has meaningful snaps, be it special teams as a receiver. So I think he had a lot of schools that were coming after him. And I think at the end of the day, when you look at how we were able to get him to buy into the vision and the culture and the scheme and everything along those lines. And, that one just felt good to me, knowing, like, I didn't get him the first time at the previous stop, and I got him this time. So I'll play the card of that one being a little personal of a signing for me.
High school signees, as we mentioned, 15. I was trying to do the quick math here. I could be off, but you get a couple of West Virginia kids. You got 4 Ohio kids, a Kentucky recruit as well. And you look at the transfer portal, similar mix. You got a couple of West Virginia kids, an Ohio recruit or Ohio transfer, a couple of Kentucky kids. Marshall fans are going to look at these numbers like, hey, you got 4 WVU guys, you got some UK guys. You know where their Herd fans are going. How happy are you with the mix as far as where you were able to find the kids and bring home some local kids as well, or give them the opportunity to stay close to home?
Yeah, well, the first part, I'm a West Virginia guy. I grew up playing high school football in West Virginia. I grew up in West Virginia, so keeping the talent in-state or bringing the talent back home is always going to be a huge emphasis for myself and for Coach Gibson as well. So, if it doesn't work out the first time for those guys, well, we're happy to get them in the right spot the second time. So owning the state, recruiting the state, attacking the state is always going to be a huge emphasis for us. And I think you got to attack your footprint. I think you look at the surrounding states, not only West Virginia, but the other states that you named, and some even farther south, being in the Carolinas as well, is that you got to know the right guys. You got to find the right guys. You got to attack the right guys, and owning the footprint and attacking the footprint is always going to matter as well, because we don't need to go halfway across the country or the other side of the country to find talent, because there's so much talent already around us. So we just got to do a good job of building these relationships with these programs and these kids and these schools, and we'll always be able to bring in talent and keep talent home, hopefully. And, just that's going to be the emphasis for us always.
You mentioned homegrown talent like a Mason Ramsey. You bring him in from Huntington High School, and Huntington High School, obviously a powerhouse in the state of West Virginia. And I think more and more schools are discovering, hey, there's really some good talent here, and you're able to just go down the street, talk to Coach Seals, and probably just here's a checklist. Here's who's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at Robbie Martin as well. Robbie knew Coach Gibson from being recruited at NC State. That didn't work out for him. I know they tried to recruit him the first time. He ended up going to the school up north. And then finally he got it right the third time, and he came back home. So I think especially those offensive linemen, there's a lot of big boys and homegrown talent in this state. So, like I said, bringing them home, recruiting them to stay, all that stuff matters.
Yeah, you can also, from South Charleston, Xavier Balsey from WVU. So he comes back closer to home. And you mentioned you got 9 secondary guys, I believe, 9 offensive linemen, 8 defensive linemen. Focus, best available talent, that part of the game plan. Hey, look, we really need to strengthen here, here, and here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you look at all the bodies we brought in, too. I don't think anybody can make the argument that we didn't get bigger as an offensive unit, as a defensive unit. I think there's a lot of, there's some turnover in that defensive back room just from the change on defense and Coach Lambert coming in and knowing what he likes, and Coach West and Coach Hood and knowing what they look for as well. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring in a lot of those skill sets that they look for. So really when you're just running spring ball and running practice and going through all this drill work and everything, you can find the best guys to put out there and have the depth because you have so many that you're able to pick from. So, yes, I would say all those were a big emphasis for us, and as of right now, I feel like we hit on all of them. 6
wide receivers as well. I don't want to ignore the wide receiver room. And if you thought Thundering Herd offense was fun last season, it should be even more this year.
Absolutely. It's going to be exciting. Everybody get your popcorn ready.
Alex Jones is with us, General Manager, Marshall Football. So the signing class is in the books now, so you get to take maybe 24 hours off, and then you've got to turn the page and go right back at it for next year, it feels like.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had guys watching tape today. You're just moving on to the next thing, right? You're getting this 27 class in order, getting these high school guys taken care of, getting them ready to come up to a spring practice, come up to the spring game, and, then you're going out on the road and you're going to see them, and then you're getting here for summer visits, and then you're going to fall camp. It never ends. You're constantly working, you're constantly moving, but we have a really good staff. Everybody's bought in. Everybody is a bunch of hard workers, and I can't wait to keep it going.
When it comes to the transfer portal or these high school kids, NIL always comes up, and I know you've got to have a little bit of everything in your bag of tricks to kind of entice a kid or to convince a kid that this is the right fit for him. What are you finding when you're out there the most, or the coaches are out there the most? What's really the big draw for kids coming to Marshall? What is it that's making them decide, hey, Marshall's the right place for me?
Yeah, I think you're playing for one of the premier programs in college football. Nobody has a story like this place does. No one's had a bigger comeback in sports than Marshall University has. So I'll say this, when you're going through the portal process, it's tough because what you don't want is a kid to come just for the money. I never want to hear it, or Coach Gibson doesn't want to hear it, that, Marshall was my best offer monetarily, that's why I came there. I think there's a difference between paying guys to come to a school and a guy picking a school and getting paid. There's a big difference because that means he's picking the school for the right reasons, be it offensive fit, the coaching staff, the community, the fandom, the surrounding area, the ties to home, the closeness, the relationships. I mean, it felt like all of that was present for these guys on their visits and throughout the recruiting process, that when it came time to put pen to paper, it was much easier for everybody else.
Our guest is Alex Jones. He's General Manager, Marshall Football. So as you get ready for the next season and, of course, continue to build for seasons to come, what would help you in your job? What is it that maybe, if you could vocalize it to listeners, boosters, alumni, fans, what is it that's out there that you can maybe say to them that they can help you with as you try to bring better to Marshall every year, every time you go out there?
Yeah, I think guys saw it on their visits already when they were here for the portal, or even the fan engagement on social media. I think there's a ton of buy-in from the community. So when you see us out and about, or you see the coaching staff, or you see us with recruits, walk up to the recruits, make them feel welcome, give them a conversation or an experience they're probably not getting at a competing school or another school, so that when it comes down to make a decision, it's like, wow, that place really felt like home, or I really enjoyed my conversation with them. Because it's that way, the pitch that we're making isn't just a pitch, it's reality. We can say how great the fans are, how great the community is 1,000 times, but when a kid comes on campus and sees it for themselves, that goes a lot farther. So I just ask that everybody that's in the area, when you see us out, when you see recruits, when you see high school players at games and everything, just really take the time to thank them for coming, to thank them for checking out the school, considering Marshall, and it'll pay dividends for all of us.
Spring game, April 11th, 3 o'clock at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. And, of course, it's not over. You've got other things that are happening as well. We've got 7-on-7 camps. Mm-hmm. We got summer camps. We got coaches clinics. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what Herd fans can expect from all of these opportunities.
Yeah, I think especially people that can make it to these opportunities and these camps, come here, get coached, get better, earn an offer, put on a show, compete. Make sure you come with intent and that you're able to take something away from whatever experience you are at. Because we're going to make sure everybody has a first-class experience no matter what they participate in.
Summer camps start in June. Of course, the Coaches Clinic, High School Coaches Clinic, is March 27th, and you've got the 7-on-7 camps as well. Tony Gibson Footballcamps.com is probably the best place to go to find out more. Appreciate you doing this today, Alex. Hopefully we can get you back on soon. Yeah. I know it's got to have been such a whirlwind to kind of get it all together for today.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I love this job, and I love this place. Got my start in college football as a volunteer here. So to have the opportunity to come back and kind of, run the department I started out in is a blessing. I'm forever thankful for it.
Alex Jones, General Manager, Marshall Football, very successful signing class today. Head over to herdzone.com if you want full bios. And, of course, don't forget camp season coming soon, coaches' clinics as well. Tony Gibson, footballcamps.com, the best place to go. Alex, enjoy the brief time off, and we'll get you back on soon.
Absolutely. Go Herd.
That's Alex Jones, General Manager, Marshall Football. Bill Cornwell is coming on. We'll talk to the Hall of Famer when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've cut back on everything, and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
This Big Game Sunday, catch the live action at Sandy's Racing and Gaming in Ashland. Big John here will be broadcasting live starting at 3 o'clock. Come by and place your bets at the BetMGM Sportsbook, then score the last day of kickoff specials, 15 wings for $15 or $15 bucket of beers, plus the loaded tailgate platter. Purchase a kickoff special and enter to win $100 in free play. Winners will be drawn every quarter and at halftime, plus a pizza oven giveaway at halftime and BetMGM merch throughout the game. It's the big game, and we're going to be at Sandy's Racing and Gaming, Route 60 in Ashland.
Looking for a secure savings account? Come to Desco Federal Credit Union and explore our latest offers. With great rates and top-of-the-line personnel, Desco insures your money for at least $1 million. Relax and put your money where you know it's safe and growing. Desco Federal Credit Union is located at 1211 Carter Avenue and other locations in Ohio and West Virginia. Stop in or go online. An account at Desco is just what you need. DescoFCU.org.
Naughty But Nice has reopened in a new location, 1336 Greenup Avenue, Ashland, Kentucky. Same products, new location. For all your adult needs, stop by our new location, 1336 Greenup Avenue, Ashland.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Back here at the Cam Henderson Center, a warm Cam Henderson Center, a little bit better than what it is outside as Marshall gets set for Southern Miss. Parking garage is open. They had special ticket prices earlier, I believe, on herdzone.com because of the snow today. So Marshall University is closed. The Cam Henderson Center is not. Welcome back to today's edition of Drive. Paul Swann with you. Bill Cornwell now joins us. He'll be with me later as we preview Marshall and Southern Miss. And, of course, this is a important game for the Thundering Herd. You got to stay in the top 4 spots, the tournament, if you want to at least have a legitimate shot of getting that bid to the NCAA tournament. The way this thing is structured, we keep talking about that only because every game matters. And you can't look past this game getting set for Miami on Saturday. Exactly. You cannot look past this one tonight.
Paul, the word is down to this. Focus. Focus. You got to take care of business tonight against your Sun Belt Conference opponent. I mean, everybody in town is talking about this Miami of Ohio game. What is it, Paul? It's the first top 25 game at the Henderson Center since, I think, one against Middle Tennessee back.
It was Old Dominion, I believe it was.
Okay.
I was doing the research. And see, that's interesting because it's been a while. And let me pull that back up while we talk about that.
Because I heard Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I heard Coach say that. So we talked a little bit about it yesterday on the show. So let me pull that back up. It has been a while, though. Memphis had come in. You remember Memphis was highly ranked, let's say, number 2.
Especially when Cal was still there.
When Cal was here, yes. And so when you pull up the year to year, I think I had to go at least to about maybe 10 years back, give or take,
right,
on this. And so the Thundering Herd, let me pull this up here. And again, I didn't have this. I was saving, my prep for Saturday with the ranked everything, so I wasn't expecting it right off the bat here. But again, it's been a while since Marshall has faced off against a ranked opponent.
And Paul, let's fill in the story for those who may have not been paying attention last night. Miami, still undefeated, 22-0, nationally ranked, went into Buffalo and take on the Bulls in a MAC game. And they just about picked up loss number one. The Bulls had a three-pointer at the buzzer from the right corner that came up just a bit short. And Miami held on for a 73-71 win, setting up the Saturday's MAC Sunbelt Challenge game here at the Henderson Center. And, there's no love lost any time between Marshall and Miami. And now with their national ranking and such, just puts that much more on that game here at the Cam.
I believe, and let's verify this now, I believe the last time Marshall played a top 25 team at the Cam Henderson Center was on January 8th, 2015 against Old Dominion.
Okay.
Old Dominion was number 25. And then in the 2015-16 season, Marshall played at number 4 Maryland. And then the 2016-17 season at number 24 Cincinnati. 2017-18 season at number 9 Xavier and at number 24 Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
So that was a road game. And then we look at 2018-19. There were not any. Number 4 Virginia, I apologize. Number 4 Virginia, that was a road game. At number 24 Florida in the 2019-20 season. We look at 2020-21. That was the COVID year. So throw that out.
Yeah, forget that.
21-22. No team was ranked on the schedule. 22-23, we're getting into real recent history, and we know that there have not been ranked opponents. And the 23-24 season, Marshall was at, you remember this, number 16 Kentucky.
Yes,
and
I was there.
That was the only ranked opponent that year. And in 24-25, no ranked opponents on the schedule. So I'm going to hold with Old Dominion was the last ranked opponent to play in the Cam Henderson Center back on January 8th, 2015, and it was a loss for the Thundering Herd. That was not a very good year for Marshall. Marshall finished 7-11 in Conference USA and lost that game 72-51.
But believe me, things were going to get turned around in a big way in just a short amount of time. But so that gives you a historical look at it. And so the Herds had their opportunities, not necessarily here in the Cam, probably going back to those Memphis games when Calipari and Memphis was so big time, before he went to UK. And so it's going to be exciting here on Saturday. But get the job done tonight. Focus on this game because this is a 500 Southern Miss team that is quite capable. Their record could be better. I'm sure that Coach Jay Ladner, who's in his 7th year there, wishes they had a little bit better record, and especially in the league. They just recently were able to break a 5-game Sunbelt losing streak. They've been struggling in the league, but believe me, they know Marshall and what Marshall's done so far this year, and they're thinking upset tonight coming in here.
500 in league, 500 overall,
yep.
And one of the veteran coaches in the league is Jay Ladner. He is 12-12 overall this year, 6-6 in league play at Southern Miss. He is 88-123.
Yeah.
That is not a good record, but he has stuck around at Southern Miss. This has been a long-term project for him.
Why did he stick around? Well, he's an alumnus, and I think that probably helps. They're going to give Coach Ladner a little bit more grace in Hattiesburg maybe than somebody else. Remember Doc Sadler was his predecessor, who's now on the staff at Kansas, and he didn't quite get the leash that Coach Ladner has gotten. So yeah, he's in his 7th year, and I really think that Southern Miss's their talent level has really been picked up, and the guy that we're looking forward to watching tonight is Tyleek Weeks, who's the third leading scorer in the Sun Belt, and Coach Corny Jacks has spent a lot of time on Monday in his weekly press conference talking about this guy, talking about the fact that he's a forward, but he plays like a guard, and he will go around you. The only weakness in his game, he's not much of a long range shooter, but he's got game, put it that way.
He's really the major offensive threat for the Thundering Herd. Now, we say that now, and every time Marshall shuts one of those down, somebody else seems to find a way and pop off against the Herd. So the game plan, I'm sure, is one thing only, consistency.
They only have 2 double-figure scorers, but then they have 2 other guys who one's averaging 9.8, one's averaging 9, so they're just barely. The one thing that when we were doing statistics, look, you and I always do before games, Southern Miss does a pretty good job getting on the boards. They got 3 guys who are averaging around 6.5 boards a game. That's pretty impressive. That's getting after it, and so that's something to watch for tonight. Marshall's going to have to be double tough, offensive and defensive glass tonight against the Golden Eagles.
Averaging offensively over 10 rebounds a contest on the defensive glass, almost 26. Their rebounding margin is over 2. The Thundering Herd, in contrast, 12.1 on the offensive glass, 26.9 defensively, and the rebounding margin is 3+3. So I consider this almost a dead heat between these two teams. It should be a challenge tonight for Marshall's defenders to rebound on that defensive glass. I'm hoping that we see a huge effort from Matt Van Komen. And, of course, I think the one category, really, if you look at the numbers across the board, Marshall obviously outscores this team 80.1 to 73.5. Defensively, though, they're almost even. Marshall gives up 74. This team gives up 73.2. The only real big number that you can look at and say, okay, Marshall's got the strong edge here, it's going to be blocks, but not by much. But assists, 17 assists for Marshall a game compared to 11.5. Marshall moves the ball better. Marshall makes more things happen. And you're going to have a game from Jalen Spear. He was creating and making things happen the last game, but he did not put anything in the basket. That can't stand too long.
Well, and also he was in foul trouble. And foul trouble is another thing that really bothered me about the Arkansas State game. The Herd was able to hold on despite the fact that Wyatt Fricks fouled out. Jalen Spear had 4 fouls in the game. And you're right. There is no way Jalen Spears is going to have a goose egg in the scoring column tonight. Matter of fact, he might just get his energy going after having a rough offensive game down at Arkansas State and just put in a big number tonight, because that's not him. He was clanking on Saturday, but he was getting the job done defensively and in both the steals and in the assist department as well. Big assist game for him, and of course we've been seeing that all year long.
Our text line is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're here at the Cam Henderson Center on a snow day, but not for basketball. School might be closed, but the Herd is open for business in the cage, and we'll have more when we continue on this edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Getting ready for the big game? Start at Scioto Shoe Mart this Saturday and Sunday. Buy 1 pair, regular price, and get 1 pair of equal or lesser value half off. That's right, BOGO, half off on all regular price footwear and handbags. Uggs and Birkenstocks not included. And while you're there, don't miss the clearance rack with savings of up to 60% off regular price. Get ready for game day at Scioto Shoe Mart. They'll bowl you over with their super savings. 615 Harding Avenue, Sciotoville.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cold weather's on its way. And what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Kindred Digital and the Marshall Health Orthopedic High School Sports Network proudly present live high school basketball, presented by the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute. Wednesday night, watch live HD video of the Cabell Midland Knights as they host their biggest rival, the Huntington Highlanders. Watch live on this station's Facebook page or website and on the Cabell County Schools Facebook page. The Cabell Midland Knights versus the Huntington Highlanders, only from Kindred Digital Sports.
Need diesel repair or parts? Osborne Equipment in Jackson, Ohio has been your go-to diesel specialist since 1979. From trucks and trailers to buses and RVs, Osborne Equipment has you covered with top-notch repairs and parts for all your diesel needs. This weekend, don't let vehicle trouble keep you from making it to the big game. Whether you're on the road or tailgating, Osborne Equipment has something for everyone. Stop by or visit OsborneEquipment.com. Let Osborne Equipment get you back on the road today.
The live music radio show Mountain Stage, hosted by Kathy Mattea, returns to Huntington Sunday, February 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Joan C. Edwards Playhouse. Stephen Kellogg and his band deliver vivid, funny songs about life, love, and family. Joe Troop and the Truth Machine bring their powerful social justice tunes, blending humor and heart. Plus, hear local favorites Kindred Valley's lush harmonies and sharp-witted indie rock from Cordroy Brown. For tickets, call the Marshall Artist Series 304-696-6656 or Ticketmaster.com. Sponsored by Kindred Communications.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive. We're at the Cam Henderson Center. We got both teams on the court warming up. We believe the gates will be opening up soon, so we'll hopefully have I'm hoping we get a packed house here. The roads look pretty good. I was coming in. I know you were coming in from Canova. It was looking pretty good earlier.
Route 60, which is my trek, was clear. I mean, all the snow's off of it. It's very clear now. And
I mean, I can't say the same thing for this morning, but
no.
It looked good. It looked good on the way in here.
I mean, so there's no excuses. No problem getting here. Be careful if you're walking in areas that have not been cleared, because there's still some places around the Henderson Center, especially on the ground level, that they're kind of messy. So be careful.
Garage looked clear.
Garage is fine.
Yeah, the walkway across was good.
Yeah, take the pedestrian bridge. That's the safe way.
Yeah, that looked fine, and the access into the garage and everything looked pretty good.
Good.
So if you are comfortable driving, and I think you should be fine tonight if you can. If you're in a position you can leave where you're at and you're on your way, you should be fine coming into Huntington this one.
No problem.
But again, do not if you don't think you can. That's what we're here for, to keep you updated. And we'll have the game all night long, either on 93.7 The Dog or right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've also got women's basketball action tonight. The Thundering Herd are at South Alabama tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Thundering Herd needing to continue stacking wins as much as possible, as quickly as possible.
There's a dogfight right now for those top 4 spots on the women's side, and Marshall's in that top 4. That loss to Troy last Wednesday night here was really a killer as far as, there's really not much room for a slip-up, not right now. But Marshall tonight is at South Alabama down in Mobile, and you think that the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns are bad, who Marshall beat here at the Henderson Center Saturday by over 40. Well, South of Alabama's about as bad. They're the next to last team in the Sun Belt. So if Marshall just plays its game and does its thing, Hurt should get a win tonight. Certainly not saying it's going to happen, but it should happen because again, the Hurt's got a lot better team than South Alabama as far as the women's side's concerned.
Hey, what are you doing on Valentine's Day?
Well, I know what you're talking about, and how about number one, national TV for Marshall men's basketball.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. You realize this. As much football of the Sun Belt as we see on the ESPN networks. I mean, it's every week we got games going, and Marshall's had plenty of those opportunities. They only get 4 ESPN network basketball games, and Marshall is going to be on one of those. The game down at Georgia Southern next Saturday night, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, 8:30 tip. It's going to be on the U, ESPNU. Of course, there's a lot of competition for your sports viewing because what's actually started this afternoon in Milan, Italy, is the Olympics, and that's going to be going on all the way. The only thing that was going on today, Paul, curling.
I'm good.
Curling.
I'm good. It's basketball tonight.
Hockey starts tomorrow.
Hockey starts tomorrow. I'm good tonight, though. Basketball is where I'm at. Cam Henderson Center. I mean, look, this is football Christmas.
Yep.
It's National Signing Day.
Well, it was National Signing Day, and kind of looking at the list, Paul, not really a lot of surprises. We knew the guys that signed high school-wise in December, and we knew, for the most part, the guys that signed in the transfer portal. So we had about 99% of it already in our head. But there were about 2 or 3 additionals, including another highly regarded kicker. Marshall's got 2 guys with boomer legs, got great talent, including the young man from Wheelersburg. And what's going to happen is one of these guys is probably going to be the kicker and one's going to be the punter. Maybe doing both because Cooper Heimbach from Wheelersburg is an outstanding punter as well.
Are you trying to tell me that a kicker from Madrid, Spain is not your go-to guy?
Not right. I'm saying he may be the guy.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying he might be the guy.
Yeah, he's coming out of Virginia from Madrid, Spain,
right.
And that is George Nicholas Diaz. So keep an eye on that young man. That's my guy right there.
Nicholas is a multi-star recruit too. He's big time. And
of course, you're talking about Cooper Heimbach from Wheelersburg.
From Wheelersburg, and he's a talent too.
He'll be tremendous, but
he'll play.
The way that it's just been working out. Hey, here are guys that are from different countries. They don't play the game of football the way we do, and all of a sudden they are a highly sought-after commodity for the special teams. We got to hit the break. We will come back. I mean, hit it, physically hit it. We'll come back. We will wrap it up just for a short moment as we will transition over to our preview of Marshall and Southern Miss right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Weaver Ag and Livestock Equipment in Benton, Ohio. Find them on Facebook. Daily Tire. Stop in and get your car or truck checkup. Call 740-446-8473 or online at dailytire.com.
Injured in a fall? Warner Law Offices is now here for you in Huntington on 4th Avenue across from the courthouse. Personal, local, decades of experience.
Call 345-6789.
Tax season just got a lot more exciting at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund headquarters. Right now at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund can put you behind the wheel of a reliable car, truck, or SUV that you'll love. And with the Hometown Advantage, you'll get free oil changes for life on qualified vehicles and a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on qualified pre-owned vehicles. That's confidence, that's value, and that's peace of mind. Drive home happy at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund headquarters. Hurry in today or shop online at yourhometownchevy.com.
For 70 years, the Humane Society of the United States has worked to end animal cruelty. Now, we're continuing that mission as Humane World for Animals. We're working around the globe to care for animals who are suffering today. And we tackle the root causes of cruelty for a kinder tomorrow. We bring big ideas, bold action, knowing that together we can make a difference. We're building a humane world where wild animals stay wild and protected, where farmed animals no longer suffer, and no animals are used in experiments, where our companions are cared for throughout their lives. We are Humane World for Animals, driving global change for the end of animal cruelty. Help make change for animals. Visit humaneworld.org.
As kids across America head to class to learn and grow, there's one school supply they absolutely cannot do without: nutritious food. Yet, right now, in the United States, millions of kids are living with hunger, making it harder to learn, to play, to dream. This is something we can't ignore. But there is an answer. When kids get healthy meals, they have greater focus, more energy, and higher grades. Kids like Ariella, who dreams of being a teacher and whose hardworking parents struggle to make ends meet. Or Victoria and Andre, whose mom wants nothing more than a great life for her kids. A life that she knows they can achieve with just a little extra help. Nothing is more important than feeding the hopes and dreams of children. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
We continue with this edition of Your Drive. I'm Paul Swann. I got the Hall of Famer, Bill Cornwell, with me. Two-time Hall of Famer.
Two-time Hall of Famer.
Multiple Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Joining us on the program. I don't know what accolades that our producer, Lenny Sundal, back in the studio has, but we will endeavor to get those later on for the next broadcast. So we're here today at the Cam Henderson Center. Marshall getting set for Southern Miss. Southern Miss coming out with those I don't know if I like those yellow and black striped pants.
Well,
I don't know if I like those.
Actually, you realize that is kind of a homage to the Indiana University ones.
I don't like them. I don't like them. Not this color scheme.
But remember, Marshall has those same pants that they occasionally.
I didn't say I like those either.
Occasionally.
I didn't say I like those either.
But, yeah, that's kind of where that.
Bring your hate on to me. Bring it on.
The great Marshall teams back in the early 70s, the Mike D'Antonis and Russell Lees, those guys had pants like that. That's where the tradition of those striped pants came from, at least on the Marshall end.
Texter wants to know, wasn't UTEP ranked like 24th between the year from like 10 to 13? We were pretty good then as well, if I remember right, and lost by 8. I did not go back that far to look.
That would have been Donnie Jones' time, wouldn't it have been for the Herd?
He said 2010, 13 range. Is that what he said?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 10
to 13.
10 to 13, yeah. Okay, let's see. 2010 to a 2011. It was a neutral game with West Virginia. WVU was ranked. 2011 to 2012. At number 3, Syracuse. Lost that one. Then 2012 to 2013. UTEP not logged as ranked in the standings. 2013 to 14, UTEP not logged as ranked. And let's see, 2014, 2015 is where we stop with Old Dominion. So I'll have to research this.
And by the way, UTEP and Marshall were in the Conference USA. Matter of fact, didn't they go in together back in the day? Conference USA is losing UTEP. They're last I determined, I think they are going into the Mountain West.
I'm looking right now. I'm doing a quick search. I don't think I can confirm UTEP as being ranked.
But
here we go. I found it. I don't know if this is what the texter is asking about, but 29 to 2010, it was March 2nd, 2010. Marshall lost 80 to 76 to a number 21 ranked UTEP.
Okay.
So there you go. And Donnie Jones, you are correct as the coach. Marshall was 11-5 in Conference USA that year and finished 24-10. Lost the first game in the Conference USA tournament, and then you lost the second game in the collegeinsiders.com tournament.
Yes.
So won against Western Carolina, lost against App State. I remember that game. I don't know if I think Marshall would really wanted to be in that tournament, to be fair.
College Insider, that game was here.
Yeah, what game was here? Both those games were here. So that's what happens on this show. We give you research if you like it.
On the fly.
On the fly. Texture says, that's it. I was a kid. I was not a kid.
That's good memory.
That was good memory.
That's great memory.
All right, I appreciate that. I'll tell you this, Bill. You can probably back me up on this. I was talking to our receptionist, Desiree King, today, and she was telling me the ticket situation. And one, our listeners on this show, the reason I get more tickets because they all show up and pick them up.
Yeah.
But she was like, we have the nicest people come in to pick up your tickets, Paul, she told me. Seriously. She was like, I mentioned, I said, hey, I got a listener coming in. Like, yeah, already came in. Your listeners are the nicest people to come in. I appreciate that.
We do appreciate that.
I seriously appreciate that.
And they do come and pick the tickets up because,
yes,
unfortunately, on some of our other stations, we offer tickets to Marshall games, and a lot of times they don't show up when they need to. They say a game's on Saturday and they come on the next Monday. Sorry, game's over. You can't use the tickets.
Yeah, you know what? Here's a little secret. I can't guarantee it'll happen every time, but the nice lady out front with the tickets sometimes will reward you with other tickets.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that happens, but just so you know.
The nice lady. I like that.
The nice lady. All right. Okay, I'll share that text with you privately. You can read that. You can't read that on the air, though.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll look at that text. We are about out of time only for a moment because we got to switch over. We got to put our serious face on now because we're going to be on 93.7 as well. Bill gave you thumbs up, texter, and that's all I can say.
No doubt. We'll see you in a little bit.
That's your nephew texting in, and that's the only thing that I can actually respond to.
Yeah.
That's going to do it, but we're going to flip over to the audience on 93.7 The Dog. So we got to get a little bit more serious. Can you handle that for 30 minutes?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
We got stuff we can talk about,
Absolutely. We're going to get serious for 30 minutes, and we'll do that next right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. Thank you, everyone, tuning in today. back in just a moment.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.